Have you ever marveled at how some individuals blossom with happiness as they age, while others seem anchored by stress and worry? The secret to a joyful old age often lies not in striving harder, but in embracing a wiser, lighter approach, doing less in certain areas to unlock profound peace. In this comprehensive guide, we'll explore 5 practices where being lazier can cultivate greater happiness, freedom, and fulfillment as you navigate your later years. These insights might transform your perspective on aging, guiding you toward a life brimming with fewer burdens and more moments of pure joy. Stay with us until the final point. It's a deeply liberating realization that could redefine your approach to living well. These shifts don't demand monumental changes, but a gentle rewiring of priorities. Letting go of energy-draining habits that no longer serve you, with 70% of seniors reporting enhanced well-being after reducing unnecessary stress, per the Journal of Gerontology. By embracing strategic laziness, you craft a vibrant, unburdened existence that radiates contentment and leaves a legacy of wisdom. Let's uncover how less effort in the right places can lead to a richer, more meaningful life, empowering you to age with grace and joy. If these insights ignite inspiration. Note point 1 in your reflections to honor your journey toward a serene, fulfilling life. Let's embark on this transformative path together. Point 1, worrying about others' opinions. In younger years, the weight of others' opinions can feel crushing. Chasing approval meeting, societal expectations, or dodging judgment consumes immense energy, with 60% of social anxiety linked to perceived scrutiny per psychological studies. This pursuit elevates stress hormones like cortisol by 15% per psychosomatic medicine, impacting mental and physical health, including a 20% higher risk of anxiety disorders per health research. As you age, you realize most people are preoccupied with their own lives, not yours, with only 10% of social interactions involving critical judgment per social psychology data. Becoming lazier about others' opinions liberates you, fostering authenticity and peace, with 80% of seniors reporting higher life satisfaction after letting go per AARP surveys. Picture an older adult who lives unapologetically, wearing cozy sweaters, speaking candidly, and choosing hobbies like birdwatching for personal joy, not trends or gossip. They embody freedom unburdened by external expectations, with 50% of people over 65 citing reduced social pressure as a cornerstone of happiness per aging studies. This isn't about dismissing loved ones' feelings, but recognizing that endlessly seeking approval is a draining cycle, depleting emotional reserves and stifling self-expression, with 40% of seniors regretting time spent on pleasing others per life satisfaction research. Margaret, a 72-year-old retiree, once agonized over neighbors' opinions, dressing formally and curating her home to impress. Chronic anxiety and exhaustion followed, limiting her enjoyment of daily life. A friend's blunt advice: "Live for you," sparked change. Margaret embraced comfortable clothes, planted a wildflower garden, and ignored gossip, reducing her stress significantly. She joined a gardening club, sharing tips and forming authentic friendships, and her confidence soared. Margaret initiated a community garden project, empowering neighbors to embrace their passions, leaving a legacy of joy. Her story illustrates that releasing others' opinions unlocks a vibrant, authentic life. Practice laziness here when worrying about opinions. Ask, will this matter in a year? If not, release it, aiming for one authentic choice daily. Wear what feels good, pursue passions like painting or yoga, or decline unnecessary social events. Limit time with judgmental peers, focusing on supportive circles, meeting 1-2 times weekly for coffee or walks. Journal 5 minutes nightly to affirm personal values, reducing external influence by 25% per mindfulness studies. Pair with affirmations like "I am enough," repeated 3 times daily to build confidence. If anxiety persists, try 10-minute guided meditations via free apps 4 times weekly. This shift redirects energy to what truly matters: your inner peace and joy. Note point 1 to celebrate this courageous step toward a life of authenticity where your happiness shines unbound. Point 2, forcing relationships. Youth often equates relationships, friendships, family ties, or romantic bonds with relentless effort, even when they yield more stress than joy. You may call men conflicts or cling to fading connections out of duty, with 40% of people maintaining draining relationships due to obligation per social psychology research. This effort increases emotional fatigue by 20% per month. the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, and fosters resentment, with 35% of strained ties leading to burnout per studies. Becoming lazier about forcing relationships allows you to cherish genuine connections, with 75% of seniors reporting stronger, more fulfilling bonds after prioritizing quality over quantity per AARP. The most content older adults surround themselves with people who show up naturally without one-sided exertion, with 60% of strong relationships marked by mutual effort per social research. Letting go of forced ties creates space for authentic bonds, reducing stress by 25% and enhancing life satisfaction per well-being studies. This isn't about severing relationships, but accepting that not all are meant to endure, with 30% of friendships naturally dissolving over time per longitudinal data, freeing you to nurture ties that uplift. George, a 74-year-old widower, tirelessly contacted distant friends who rarely responded, feeling isolated and unvalued. Frustration mounted until he shifted focus to local friends who reciprocated those who called or visited unprompted. Joining a book club, he forged effortless bonds over shared novels, and his loneliness faded. George hosted monthly book discussions, building a supportive network, and began mentoring a young reader, sharing his love of literature and leaving a lasting impact. His community involvement grew, volunteering at a library, further enriching his connections. His story proves that releasing forced relationships nurtures meaningful, reciprocal ones that bring joy. Cease chasing. If you always initiate contact, pause for a month, noting who reaches out, aiming to identify 2 to 3 mutual connections. Invest in reciprocal relationships, meeting friends for walks or meals, 1 to 2 times weekly, or join a club like a book or hiking group, attending one event monthly to meet like-minded souls. If guilt surfaces, write a kind note to distant contacts, then release expectations, reducing emotional strain by 20% per journaling studies. Volunteer at community centers like libraries or shelters, 2 hours monthly to build valued ties. Pair with gratitude lists, noting 3 supportive people weekly to reinforce positive connections. Prioritizing quality fosters relationships that truly enrich your life. Note, point 2, to celebrate this freedom, creating space for bonds that spark joy and belonging. Point 3, trying to change others. For much of life, you may feel compelled to guide others, offering advice, correcting errors, or urging better decisions, whether for children, friends, or partners. Yet a profound truth emerges with age: people change only when they choose to, with 85% of external change attempts failing due to resistance per behavioral research. This effort exhausts you, increasing frustration by 20% per Psychology Today, and strains relationships, with 50% of seniors citing advice giving as a source of conflict per Family Studies. Becoming lazier about changing others frees you to focus on your own choices, reactions, and peace-boosting mental health by 30% per the Journal of Gerontology. You can share perspectives or offer support, but forcing change is like pushing against a locked door. It drains energy without progress, with 65% of advice ignored if unsolicited per communication research. The happiest seniors lead by example, allowing others their journeys, with 70% reporting reduced stress after embracing this acceptance per aging surveys. This shift preserves relationships and conserves emotional energy, fostering a calm, centered life. Helen, a 71-year-old retired teacher, spent years urging her son to adopt healthier eating habits, sparking tension and distance. Exhausted, she pivoted to modeling wellness, cooking vibrant, nutritious meals, and walking 30 minutes daily. Her son, inspired by her energy, began cooking similar dishes, and their relationship warmed, filled with shared meals and laughter. Helen shared her approach in a seniors wellness group, teaching peers to lead by example, and initiated a healthy recipe exchange, fostering community health and connection. Her story demonstrates that letting others change on their terms restores harmony and peace. Practice acceptance. When tempted to change someone, pause and ask, "Is this mine to fix?" Offer advice. Once then step back, focusing on your habits like 30-minute walks or balanced meals, 5 days weekly. Model positive behavior practice. Patience or mindfulness without preaching, aiming for 1 example daily. If frustration lingers, journal 5 minutes nightly to release emotions, reducing stress by 15% per mindfulness research. Pair with gratitude for others' strengths, listing 3 qualities weekly to shift focus. If conflicts arise, use "I feel" statements in discussions once monthly to express care without control. This approach conserves energy for your joy and serenity. Note point are to celebrate this profound wisdom, embracing peace by letting others chart their paths while you shine as an example. Point 4, chasing people who don't value you. Life reveals that not all relationships are meant to endure. Friendships fade, family members drift, and connections shift. In younger years, you may have chased people, always initiating calls, planning gatherings, or giving endlessly, believing effort could sustain bonds. With 45% of individuals maintaining one-sided relationships per social research. This pursuit drains energy and increases loneliness by 25% per the Journal of Social Issues, fostering feelings of rejection. Becoming lazier about chasing those who don't value you brings profound peace, with 80% of seniors reporting higher satisfaction after focusing on mutual bonds per AARP surveys. Genuine connections thrive on reciprocity. People who truly care call, visit, and engage without prompting, with 60% of strong relationships showing balanced effort per social studies. Letting go of one-sided ties frees you to invest in those who reciprocate, reducing emotional strain by 35% and boosting joy per psychology research. This isn't about isolation, but recognizing that chasing diminishes your worth, while mutual relationships affirm it, with 50% of seniors citing valued ties as key to happiness per aging data. Frank, a 76-year-old retiree, tirelessly organized family gatherings, feeling unappreciated when relatives rarely reciprocated. Disheartened, he stopped inviting only those who engaged and joined a local choir where members welcomed his warmth. His stress melted and he organized choir concerts, building a chosen family of supportive friends. Frank mentored a young singer, sharing his passion for music, and volunteered at a community arts program 3 hours monthly, forging new bonds. His legacy of connection grew, proving that releasing unvalued ties nurtures true belonging and joy. Stop chasing. If you're always reaching out, pause for 6 weeks, noting who responds, aiming to identify 3 to 5 mutual connections. Invest in reciprocal relationships, meeting friends for tea or walks 1-2 times weekly, or join a group like a choir or gardening club for 1 event monthly. If sadness emerges, journal 5 minutes nightly to process, reducing emotional weight by 20% per therapeutic writing studies. Volunteer at community causes like food banks or arts programs, 2-3 hours monthly to build valued ties. Pair with gratitude lists, noting 3 supportive people weekly to reinforce positive bonds. This shift surrounds you with those who truly value your presence. Note point 4 to celebrate this liberation, cultivating a circle that uplifts and cherishes you. Point 5, trying to control everything. In youth, you may strive to control every facet of life: careers, relationships, future outcomes, believing effort guarantees success. Yet age unveils that control is an illusion, with 70% of stressors tied to uncontrollable factors per the American Psychological Association. This struggle fuels anxiety, increasing it by 20% per mental health studies, and elevates risks of stress-related conditions like hypertension by 15% per health psychology. Becoming lazier about control, releasing expectations, regrets, or the need for perfection ushers in profound peace, with 85% of seniors reporting greater joy after embracing acceptance per the Journal of Aging studies. The happiest older adults flow with life's unpredictability, not resisting what lies beyond their grasp, with 65% citing adaptability as a pillar of happiness per aging research. Letting go frees you to live fully in the present, reducing stress-related health risks by 25% and enhancing life satisfaction per well-being studies. This isn't passivity, but a wise acceptance that life unfolds as it should, allowing you to breathe deeply and savor each moment, with 60% of seniors noting mindfulness as a key to contentment per psychological data. Ruth, a 78-year-old grandmother, once micromanaged family events, stressing over every detail, seating menus, timing. When plans inevitably faltered, frustration consumed her. Exhausted, she embraced flexibility, hosting casual gatherings with simple potlucks, welcoming imperfections like mismatched plates or late arrivals. Her joy soared, and family visits became warm, laughter-filled affairs. Ruth led a seniors mindfulness group, teaching acceptance through 10-minute guided meditations, and her calm inspired her grandkids to adopt mindfulness, leaving a legacy of peace. She volunteered at a community center, leading relaxation workshops 2 hours weekly, further spreading serenity. Her story proves that releasing control unveils life's inherent beauty, filling each day with ease and gratitude. Practice letting go when stressed about outcomes. Ask, can I control this? If not, shift to your response. Practicing 10-minute deep breathing exercises 3 times weekly to reduce anxiety by 20% per mindfulness research. Plan events loosely, set intentions like enjoy company, not rigid schedules, aiming for one flexible plan monthly. If perfectionism creeps in, list 3 things you're grateful for daily, shifting focus to the present, boosting positivity by 15% per gratitude studies. Use free mindfulness apps for 5-minute meditations 4 times weekly to cultivate calm. Pair with 5-minute walks 3 times weekly to ground yourself in the moment. If control urges persist, reflect on past uncontrollable events that resolve naturally, noting lessons weekly. This approach embraces life's natural flow, fostering joy and presence. Note point 5 to celebrate this profound liberation, living fully in each moment with grace and ease. Final thoughts. You've journeyed through 5 transformative areas where being lazier cultivates happiness. In old age, worrying about others' opinions, forcing relationships, trying to change others, chasing those who don't value you, and controlling everything. These ingrained habits sap energy and joy, but releasing them creates space for authenticity, meaningful connections, and serene acceptance, with 90% of seniors reporting deeper fulfillment after shedding unnecessary effort, per the Journal of Gerontology. Each act of letting go is a step toward a lighter, more vibrant life, especially crucial as you navigate the emotional and physical nuances of aging, with 80% of older adults citing reduced stress as key to longevity, per health studies. Pause and reflect. Which point struck a chord? Which will you embrace today? Start small. Wear cozy clothes without apology. Pause a one-sided call model. A healthy habit. Let a gathering unfold naturally, or breathe through a worry. Each choice weaves a life of ease, letting you savor life's simple treasures, planting flowers, sharing stories with friends, or basking in a quiet sunset. Your heart thrives on freedom, not burdens, and your legacy grows through the peace you embody. Share one thing you learned and how you'll apply it, perhaps joining a choir, practicing gratitude, or mentoring a youth. Your insights knit a community tapestry of wisdom, joy, and connection, inspiring others to live lightly. If this guide uplifted you, subscribe, and share. Your support fuels our mission to champion vibrant, unburdened living, celebrating every step toward a life that radiates peace, purpose, and boundless possibility. Here's to a happier, freer old age. Your journey to a joyful, liberated life begins now, shining with hope and serenity.